Have you ever just felt like your brain is full, completely overloaded with noise, just feeling foggy and distracted all the time? Well, what if you could actually hit a reset button? Today, we're going to dive into a really fascinating biological journey, the 72-hour brain reset. And look, this isn't science fiction. This idea of rebooting your brain, just like you would a glitchy smartphone, that's really the core of what a 72-hour fast is all about. So we're going to break down the actual science behind how this radical reboot might actually work.
So here's our roadmap. Think of it as a kind of biological thriller. We'll start with what a reset even means, cover the all-important prep phase, walk through the journey day by day, and then, and this is crucial, we'll take a hard, honest look at the science and, of course, the risks involved.
Okay, so what exactly do we mean by a reset? Well, the whole point here is to activate three key biological processes that act kind of like superpowers for your brain: ketosis, autophagy, and boosting something called BDNF. Don't worry, we'll unpack every single one of those as we go. Now, you can't just jump into something like this cold. The sources are really clear on this. You have to prepare the terrain first. Those 2 to 3 days before you even start, they're absolutely crucial for making this whole thing smoother and way less of a shock to your system. So, how do you prep? Well, first you get your body used to taking breaks from eating with something like 16/8 intermittent fasting. Second, you start to dial back the carbs and bring in more healthy fats. Think avocados, nuts, that kind of thing. This starts teaching your body to burn fat for fuel. And third, and this is a big one, hydrate like crazy and get some solid sleep. It's just like warming up before a big race. It sets you up for success. All right, you've done the prep work, and now the journey begins. Day 1. For most people, this is the hardest part. It's often described as facing your inner chaos because your brain is suddenly deprived of its usual fuel and it starts to go into withdrawal. Yeah, those first 12 to 24 hours are basically a detox. Your brain is so used to getting those quick, easy hits of glucose from sugar and dopamine from things like caffeine or even scrolling social media. You take that away, it starts to scream, "Hey, where's my reward?" And what you're feeling? It's pure chemistry. That dopamine level plummets, which can make you feel super irritable, confused, and just wiped out. Meanwhile, your stress hormone, cortisol, might spike. But here's the thing you have to remember. This isn't a sign that you're failing. It's literally the feeling of your brain detoxifying and breaking free from all those dependencies. So, if day 1 was the storm, then day two is the turning point. This is where all that struggle starts to transform. And you begin to feel this profound sense of mental clarity as all that inner chaos finally begins to settle down. And this right here shows you exactly why that happens. After about 24 to 48 hours, your body pretty much burns through all its stored sugar, that's glucose, and it flips a major metabolic switch. It starts burning fat for energy instead, and in the process, it produces these amazing molecules called ketones. Unlike the jittery, unstable energy you get from glucose, ketones are a super clean, super stable fuel source for your brain. And that metabolic switch, that's a state called ketosis. It's this exact process that leads to that incredible feeling of calm, stable energy, and seriously sharp focus. You're just not on that sugar crash roller coaster anymore. Your brain is now running on premium fuel. And that brings us to the climax of the journey, day 3. By the time you hit that 72-hour mark, the most powerful biological processes are fully fired up. This is where the really deep cleaning and the rebuilding happens. Those superpowers we mentioned earlier, they are now officially unlocked. Superpower number 1 is autophagy. The easiest way to think about it is as your brain's deep cleaning crew, or its cellular janitor. This process, which by the way was the subject of the 2016 Nobel Prize in Medicine, goes in and clears out all the cellular junk and damaged proteins, the very gunk that causes brain fog and is linked to neurodegenerative diseases. And right alongside that incredible cleanup crew, you've got a surge in BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor. If autophagy is the janitor, BDNF is like fertilizer for your brain. It's a protein that actually encourages the growth of brand new neurons, which helps sharpen your memory, boost your mood, and ultimately build a stronger, more resilient brain. So when you put it all together, what do you get? Well, the sources describe a state of real inner peace and calm, with razor-sharp focus. Your whole dopamine system gets a chance to rebalance, and you start to feel this emotional distance from distractions, which allows you to shift from just mindlessly reacting to your environment to consciously choosing how you want to act. Okay, so this all sounds incredibly powerful, right? And the science behind it is pretty compelling. But, and this is a really big but, it is absolutely essential that we step back and look at this with a balanced perspective. This is an intense process, and it is definitely not without its risks. Which brings us to the critical question. Is this some kind of miracle cure for everyone? And the simple, honest answer is no. While the benefits are absolutely real and backed by science, this whole idea needs a serious dose of reality. Let's just break it down. On one hand, yes, the benefits like autophagy and increased BDNF are very real. But on the other hand, a fast this long can also come with some pretty serious risks, like muscle loss, dangerously low blood sugar, or even severe mood swings if it's not done correctly or under supervision. And let's be crystal clear on this. This is not for everyone. The sources strongly warn that pregnant individuals, people with diabetes, or anyone with a history of eating disorders should absolutely avoid this. The main takeaway here is you must consult a medical professional before you even think about trying something this intensive. So, what's the bottom line here? The 72-hour fast isn't just about not eating for a few days. It's really a window into our body's ancient, built-in ability to clean house, to repair, and to regenerate itself. It's an incredibly powerful tool, but it's one that demands a ton of respect and caution. Ultimately, it's a process that taps into our deep evolutionary history as a way to fight back against our modern mental fog. So the final question really isn't about whether you're ready for day 3, but what you might discover about your own mind and your own resilience on day 1.